It's such a spectacular autumn day and it looks even better in Lisbon. However, the trees right now are so noisy that I have no idea if I'm actually going to be able to make myself understood in this video. Hopefully you can hear me. Well, we'll just need to get over the noise. Those leaves are really loud. Hi, thank you for being here. Today we're talking about the differences between a land-based photographer and a cruise ship photographer, and what a better day to do it than from Sevilla.
Pensando en ti, como no pienso, nunca te entregues ni te aparte, junto al camino nunca digas, no puedo más, aquí me quedo, aquí. Nunca te entregues ni te aparte, junto al camino nunca digas, no puedo más, aquí me quedo, aquí me quedo.
The name of our king is Philip VI, so whenever he comes to Seville,
As I was thinking how to set the introduction to this topic, I wanted to put a disclaimer that I'm comparing one area full of infinite possibilities with one that's in a limited environment. This in itself is a difference. These comparisons are like water and oil. You can't make a clear pros and cons list. I was asked to do more in-depth videos about being a photographer at sea, so here it is. If you find any value or entertainment watching these videos, please consider subscribing and liking the video. Any further questions you'd have, please leave them in the comments and I will address them one way or another. The topic that everyone wants to speak about. Given that you're employed to do a job, I would say that the payment on ships when it comes to photography is limited. It has a minimum and it has a maximum from company to company. On land, it doesn't have to be. But in the same time, on land, you don't necessarily get the consistency of a steady income with photography. Not everyone can say that they can get a steady income from photography. On top of that, what you earn on ships is what you are left with after all expenses and costs, besides all the equipment being provided for you to be able to perform your job's duties. I've assessed in my personal case where I could make more money, and I'm sure that in some situations, generally speaking, I could make more money on land than on ships, but it's not all about that, which brings us to point number 2. Although the previous topic can maybe sound discouraging if you think you're going to make more on land than you would on ships, however, it doesn't need to be discouraging. If we were to now make an exercise in imagination on how much it would cost to afford this kind of lifestyle, I'm sure the costs would be incredibly high. Just as we speak, we've just been to past couple of days to Madeira, Gran Canaria, Tenerife, Lanzarote, and today we were in Seville. And tomorrow we're in Lisbon, so even the costs of these this cruise. To be able to afford it from your own pocket, this kind of lifestyle would be a considerable amount, at least to say. On ships, you also have included the accommodation and the food, and you also have many benefits like the gym, everything that comes within the community, discounted prices, facilities, and opportunities. There's like a little, well, I can't say little, there's an ecosystem for crew members. Then we talk travel and so on. I've seen cruise ship photographers spending all their money and being at their happiest versus seeing rich, miserable photographers on land hoarding their income and, you know, not investing in experiences enough. This is an example. I'm not saying that, you know, everyone on board is happy and everyone on land is miserable. By far, I do not mean that. Which takes us to number 3. Being a photographer on land can be quite a lonely job sometimes. You network with many photographers, but your own progression is down to you. On ships, you're pushed from behind and you're taken out of your comfort zone completely. As a manager, I love that I could improve my skills as a manager, business operation, leadership skills, as well as innovation. In the pandemic, I've opened my own company, and I've never actually wanted for myself to create a business on a similar scale to the one that I'm working for at the moment. I wanted to operate the business, but I didn't want to make enough money or get funding for printers and recruitment and employers and gear and anything like that. I wanted to operate on a business that has these facilities built in and needed someone to operate the business. So to go back, the difference in development and operation, when I said that you're pushed from behind, is because you're being set in a fast-paced working environment with real people modeling for you, not just with the models of your choice, of all sorts of ages and nationalities, and you need to make sure that you are capturing their best selves at all times. And it's very different to other environments and settings like a wedding or private shoots. It does take you out of your comfort zone, and it certainly builds character. It's an immeasurable asset for photographers to have such an extensive diversity of people to photograph as well as people to work with. I've met people who have never left the country they live in their entire life up to this point. Imagine how much their perspectives have broadened on board through this job. And for me as a manager, it has also been interesting to understand how to manage and guide such different backgrounds. We're photographers, we're aesthetic, visual creatures, and working at sea provides breathtaking views on a daily basis. I know some well-established photographers whom after a lifetime of work have never seen even a third of what maybe a beginner photographer has seen in a contract. And surely this is not everyone's priority to travel as much as we want to travel. However, it's not only about the quantity of travel, but the lifestyle, the visuals, sailing, sunsets, sunrises, seeing unobstructed sunsets reflecting on the water, the sound of it, how it all comes together. It's one of the most cinematic sensations you can live. We're blessed with a routine of spectacular views, and we are the ones to appreciate it the most. And on this topic, I want to emphasize that, you know, it is proven that we function differently in different places, and I'm one of the people to really confirm this. I function differently when I'm in different environments. This sort of visual stimulation and how you feel in that environment heavily impacts how you perform, how you think, how you express yourself, how you develop. There's a big part of me that functions at its best when I'm here in such a complex environment. To be honest, I'm not sure what conclusion you are hoping to hear. For me, I've realized I've got plenty of time to be established and have a set clientele. However, it's crossed my mind that might never happen. I might never settle. I might be traveling one way or another throughout my entire life, so I need to find a way to sustain that. But whenever I go home or I go into one of these environments that shows me a glimpse of how my life would have been if I settled and just developed a business in one specific place, all this idea makes it clear for me that I have made the right choice for myself. And this is the only thing you should care about when watching this video, making the right choice for yourself. Thank you for being here.